Hello everyone, and welcome to the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I'm Dean, the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel, and also the host of the N.A.R.C.N network. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 10 on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel, and this will be part 2 of episode 10, which is entitled B.P.D and the Narcissistic Connection in Women. So just to get into some points from part 1 here, I just want to reiterate here, when we're talking about bipolar disorder in women, a lot of narcissistic experts and a lot of psychological experts actually look at bipolar disorder in women as being the female version of antisocial personality disorder. Now, this will be debated depending on the expert that you actually talk to about this, but I believe that there are definitely connections between these two different points and these two different views of this disorder. And we're just going to go into the episode here and talk a little bit about, again, some of the things that are distinctive things that are parts of these disorders and parts of these connections to narcissistic disorder in women. So as we stated in previous episode 1, or part 1, one of the things that is an example of this in narcissistic personality disorder, but also in bipolar disorder or in antisocial personality disorder, one of the demonstrated things is tremendous impulsivity in those individuals. Again, radical confusion of the identity. This is associated with possible multiple personality disorder conditions like dissociative identity disorder or borderline disorder or bipolar disorder. Radical idealization of people, either friends or radical idealization of romantic partners, where a person who is a romantic partner is put on a pedestal and looked at as an iconic type individual for whatever reason. And then after that, radical devaluation of people. This again happens with romantic partners. A romantic partner is looked upon as being, oh my God, this is the most amazing person who's ever entered my life. I can't get enough of them. They're put on a pedestal, and then suddenly they can't stand that person. They can't stand to be around them. They don't have anything nice to say about them. They don't have any good feelings towards them. All of a sudden, the whole viewpoint towards that romantic partner changes. And this can also happen, of course, with friends. Another element here is feeling or assuming that people or connections around them will abandon the person that has these disorders. This is a universal thing that both B.P.D, A.S.P.D, and N.P.D sufferers all suffer from in conjunction with each other. Again, another example is executing behavior that relatively assures that an individual that that person is dealing with is going to get abandoned. Any type of behavior that this person does that is like, you know, that assures that somebody is going to just abandon this person. These individuals with B.P.D and N.P.D and A.S.P.D and these other conditions, they will do this behavior and then go, oh my God, why did this person abandon me? Why don't they want to be friends with me anymore? Why don't they want to be in a relationship with me? And these are some of the things that, that these individuals do. So, seeing as B.P.D, borderline disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder are all the same cluster B disorders, we can associate the adjoining link between these disorders quite easily because they share so many common attributes and behaviors. Now, mix the aforementioned attributes with grandiosity, entitlement, seeking excessive admiration, fantasies about achieving unlimited success, superiority in a delusional manner, thinking they are unique, exploitation of others around them, lack of empathy for others, arrogance, and extreme envy. These are all the attached additional elements that often present in these attached disorders. There are common comorbidity factors linking these disorders. BPDs and borderlines with narcissistic personality disorder tend to leave a trail of destruction with everything associated in their lives. Only about 30% of BPD sufferers are able to maintain a relationship in any healthy manner. Often their relationships fail because of the sheer amount of instability in the mental states of most BPD people. And often it's the BPD sufferer's mate or spouse that leaves because the BPD person is so hard to deal with or cope with. And add N.P.D to this mix as well, and this often makes for a very volatile state for anyone dealing with a BPD or N.P.D sufferer. Not to mention that if there's N.P.D in the BPD person's disorder mix, it's now about 80% more likely that that relationship will now succumb to the N.P.D sufferer introducing some type of infidelity into the relationship due to the brain trauma that now fuels that type of behavior in the narcissistic personality disorder affected patients. So as we can see, the correlation here between bipolar disorder and narcissistic personality disorder has definite shared characteristics across these disorders that cause similar behavior patterns between people sharing these psychiatric conditions. These factors in themselves question what may be truly occurring within the brain function or within the associated conditioning that has possibly affected these patients during their formative years, possibly in turn creating or forming similar behavior patterns or connected behaviors within these several disorder conditions. In closing, as the science and psychiatry begin to understand more and more about these conditions and their overlap and relate its functionality to each other, an increased understanding of how these disorders interrelate becomes more clear and easy to understand. This in turn aids professional psychiatric community people in understanding how to treat and assist patients with these disorders in a more effective manner, but also assists those with N.P.D in comprehending why narcissists and people with these associated disorders behave in the manners in which they do, and hopefully creates a better understanding of the minds and mental states of sufferers of these conditions. This can be of little comfort to the victims of these disorders, but as we know, there is a power in knowing the causes of these things, as well as being able to understand the reasons why narcissistic individuals, as well as patients with these other associated disorders, are the way that they are. And also, this information is critical at times, depending on the state of the abuse of the victim in their recovery from narcissistic abuse. So in closing here, the interrelated things between bipolar disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, borderline disorder, and antisocial personality disorder, which are all interrelated here, there's a very, very keen need to understand how these disorders all relate to each other in order for us to understand, and also for the medical community to understand greater what is going on across the board with all these disorders, in order to form an understanding of how to help people who suffer from these conditions. So as we go, science is beginning to understand much more clearly how these disorders all interrelate with each other, and we are learning in an exponential way how to treat these disorders much more effectively and much better over time. And hopefully this will help out not only victims in understanding the disorders that they've dealt with and the narcissists or the other people that have affected them, but also in helping the medical community understand the severity of these disorders, and also how better to treat them when an individual seeks medical assistance for treating these psychiatric conditions. So this has been episode 10, part 2. I'm going to say to you guys, I hope you guys stay tuned. I've got some new content coming up on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel, and new content coming up on the regular N.A.R.C.N network. So stay tuned. I'm going to be coming at you with some new videos very soon. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you really soon with some new upcoming content.